familiar in the view of Jablite Mountain, and indeed across here with the bunker and the vehicle that changes, and that is the camera that films that for the Monday Club. But over in the corner behind all this is another little hillside area which doesn't really get shown a lot in videos, and I thought that this would be the perfect area to experiment with using different scale items to create a sense of false perspective. And right up there on the top we've got a stag on a little outcrop, and I think that's going to be perfect for what I've got planned today. Well, it's been a while since we've done a modelling project here on Weir Yard. We've done an awful lot with electronics, and I really wanted to get back to the joys of scenery. It's something I really enjoy doing. So come with me today and I'll show you just what you can do on your own layout. Today's video comes in association with Train-O-Matic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabriek.co.uk. Creating false perspective is simply a case of using things that are to a smaller scale towards the background of your layout, and that gives a sense to your eye and brain that things are actually further away than they really are. And this is a great way to create a sense of a much bigger landscape behind your model railway. Hills are a great area to be able to do something about this, and it's something that I'm going to be trying for the first time on Weir Yard today, with a few bits and pieces that I've got hold of to show you the difference that it makes. In Double O, there's a lot of ways that we can create false perspective, and actually we're quite well represented in terms of ready to run, ready to plant items, which can really help in this respect. So starting off in the foreground, we've got the Double O model, but we could use HO, such as figures. Vehicles are a good one, just to create a sense that they're further away than they really are. Moving back from there, we've also got the relatively new scale available ready to run in the UK of TT120. And then beyond that, we can also use N Gauge. And just to illustrate this, I've got this plastic kit which the Cupboard Monkey built. These are available through Daypol. They're actually quite an old kit, built up into quite a nice model. A little bit awkward to show you on camera, but certainly this windmill would be a great addition to any hillside, but it is quite big. However, when we were at the Rails Rummage sale last, one of the things that we picked up is this little end windmill from Hornby. This was a range of ready-to-plant buildings and such like that Hornby used to do for N Gauge. Sadly, they've stopped doing them, but you can see here they're still available second-hand quite readily. And we paid £14.50 for this mint in box. See down there, it's N Gauge scale model. And these are ready painted, ready finished, so there is no messing about whatsoever to do. It's just simply a case of finding a location far enough away that we can train the eye into believing that they're actually the same scale as the rest of the model, but just further away. So getting this out from the box, they're actually a nice substantial model, and unlike the Daypol kit, we don't have to paint this, which is a major boon. And there is scope if you really wanted to maybe add some lighting inside, light up the window, but actually there's only the one window it looks like, so I personally wouldn't bother. Oh, there is another window down here. But this is quite a small base, probably less than even on the largest diameter of the base. We're looking at 1.75 inches, which for those of you more used to metric, about 4¼ centimeters. So it's not actually very big. And when you compare this to the Daypol kit, you can see it is really a lot smaller. And This is what I'm going to be using up on the hillside, and I've got the perfect place for it. I just need to remove, we've got a stag up there now, and I think that this would be a nice, easy project to make Weiryard look bigger than it really is. It's a little bit difficult to film in this corner, but what I'm going to show you first up is that daypole windmill, just to give you a sense of what it looks like with the same scale items. And this is the area I've got picked out. It's just a little bit difficult to just kind of wedge this in. And you can see that not only would it need quite a bit of work to create a base, but it dwarfs the hillside. Now, if that's all you've got, it's still something that does look quite nice. And you could quite easily fit this in a number of different locations. But what I want to do is use that N gauge item to really give a great sense that this is further away than it actually is. We've got a perfect little outcrop, and we can add the windmill up at the top, play around with which way it faces, and once that's bedded in, we do get a great sense that it's much further away than it actually is. For this install, the first thing I've used is just a little modelling saw, and I've just levelled off the area, cut through the static grass, and just tried to remove any of the loose material. And this just makes sure that the windmill is going to sit without being crooked, and it just gives us a little bit of a better base to be able to work with. Now that I'm happy with that area, we can just test fit the windmill again, and that seems just fine. It's much more level. So the next thing I want to do is use some speed bond, and I'm going to create the glue bond, which will just help to stick this all in. And to be honest, having quite a large area like this of glue is not a problem. It'll give us a firm base, and my idea is that anything that's squished out provides the means to glue some small bushes into the area around the windmill. Carefully work the windmill into exactly where I want it to be. The area around it, I've chosen some bushes from Woodland Scenics, and I can just glue these into the excess glue, and this will bed the windmill into the landscape, as well as covering up some of this extra glue and hide any join between the windmill and the landscape. The next job I want to do is create a little bit of a path, and I've got some dark fine turf here from Woodland Scenics again, and I'm just going to sprinkle this down in a path, and first of all I'll give it a quick blast with the static grass layering spray. And again, a final quick blast. And that secures all that in place. If you find that to be just a little bit too obvious, again, we can use static grass layering spray and some different greens, which I'll just blend in. And for a final touch, I've got some heather tufts from Warworld Scenics, which I'm just going to add into a little clump to give a bit more visual interest. These are really easy to apply. Whilst they are self-adhesive, when going over static grass, I do find that a little dab of glue does help keep them in position. With the glue dry, this is the end result, and it really does blend in quite well. Just a little bit of work with the textures of static grass and those bushes has really made a difference. And if I pan back a little bit, you can see here the track in the foreground, and that windmill actually looks a lot further away than it actually is. Using these N gauge buildings is a great way to give a sense of depth and distance. Now, after I filmed all of the previous bits of the video, I've had a think about some of the other items I've got in my scrap box, and these include some N gauge walling and also an N gauge Morris Traveller, and I think that these are really going to finish the scene off quite nicely. So I'm just going to do a bit of experimentation with where I can lay the walling, And actually I think I'm just going to leave it with the one piece, and I'll be able to have the car parked behind. And again, the final scene is improved by the addition of the N Gauge walling and car. Once the glue dries, it's all just bedded in and we're good to go. Well, I hope you really enjoyed today's video and found it informative as we delved into the realms of force perspective and what it actually means and how you can easily apply it to your layout. And certainly I really did enjoy showing you that in today's little project. And I think that I've kind of really improved that little faceless hill that's tucked away in the corner just with this really simple technique. But I'd love to hear from you in the comments section down below. Have you used force perspective on your model layout? Do you have any tips and hints for your fellow modeler for getting it done right? And is there something that maybe that worked really, really well for you? I'd love to hear from you, and you can leave your comment in the comment section down below and help out your fellow modelers by sharing your knowledge with them. Don't forget as well to tickle that like button, share this video and subscribe to the channel to be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. We've also got our full merchandise store and you'll find that down below. It's coming up to Christmas, so it's a really great way to treat yourself or to treat somebody else. We've got some really great designs, including the Billy's replacement speakers. We've also got Gronkfest, which is proving very, very popular, and a whole host of others too. You can buy them as t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now. Today's video comes in association with Train-O-Matic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabriek.co.uk. I'd like to thank everybody over on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to our Patreon heroes. Without you guys over on Patreon, we really wouldn't be able to keep making the video content that you see on this channel. And don't forget that you can also head on over to patreon.com/JenniferKirk and check out the different tiers of rewards. Thank you so much. You are absolute legends.